Hello guys, welcome back. It's another day and it's a cold one, but I got some good news. Let me show you around. So I finally got my new radiator in the mail. Looks fantastic, no damage. Went to the Napa, bought some coolant. Should be enough for everything that we need to do today, or just in general. It's gonna get a full system flush. That means this old junk gotta go. And it's time for this baby to start taking its form and shape. As far as the body and everything, the wiring gonna get tied up, so that's gonna be done. And it's time to get it ready for getting it on the road. So stay tuned. Alright guys, the hood is off, which is totally big difference, makes it so much easier for me to work on the car and get to different things, and I'm not worried about anything falling on my head. I don't know why I didn't even take it off in the first place, but oh well. That aside, I went ahead, tied that up so all the wiring is done. As we know, the car starts, there is no problem, so all is left for me to do, put all the plastics back on and clips so I don't lose them. And right now, since the hood is off, I will go ahead and replace the coolant radiator. I did decide to leave the AC radiator on with the car. It's no big deal, there's no damage to it. AC blows cold. There's a slight little dent on the top, it dented it in from the hood, from the old hood. No big deal though, it's not gonna affect any performance. Plus I don't want to start draining all those chemicals onto the air. It's really bad for the air, so we'll definitely not do that. After that is done, I'm gonna go ahead, put the radiator support on, align everything, reinforcement on, headlights, hood right there, and then the new bumper will go on last. So before we get this car to paint, we gotta make sure all our little lines with the fenders, with bumpers, with headlights aligns perfectly. That way we don't do it later on when the car is painted and it starts scratching up the part because we didn't adjust it before. So stay tuned.
Sometimes I wonder why you.
Whew, that was something. The old radiator is off. So if you guys take it out, as you can see, I spilled some. There's always some left, so wherever it is coming out, make sure you drain it before recycling it. Now it's becoming more and more space, so it was sitting, as you can see, between the condenser and between the fans. So I didn't really take it easy on this one because it's old, it's broken, so I don't really need it. Time for me to put the new one back in and see how that one goes. The new radiator is on. It was actually easier to install it than taking it off. All it was is a matter of wiggling it in, pushing it in, and make sure the fitments align with the fan. It clicked in, and then just clicks in here on top for the condenser. There's two bolts right there, so I'm gonna go ahead, put the bolts on, put all the clips on, attach the coolant hoses, and fill it up with coolant, see what we got. All the clips are on. Coolant hoses are on. There's one here, one on the bottom. A coolant reservoir tank is on. So just make sure when you guys doing this, make sure you guys buy the right type of coolant. These cars do not like it if you put the wrong type of coolant. I don't know why, don't ask, they just don't like it. So we'll be topping it off with coolant right now. Always check for how much your car needs. There's usually on the reservoir tank you have a high and a low, so anywhere in between these two lines should be good. I'll start filling in with a thermostat cap right here, and then later on top it off over here. And we're gonna jump start the car, make sure the coolant all goes away, and see how much we need. Check out if the heater works now, and we'll be good from there. So let's do that and see. So after putting about a whole jug in, first when I started pouring over here, I had the funnel over here, and it was pouring a little bit over the top. I did not see that, so for a second I heard something leaking in the bottom. So I went put the bucket underneath. I thought something is leaking. I was like, oh no. But then when I was pouring again, I realized it was just coming out through the funnel, through the top. So I removed the funnel. Everything is okay. I put in about a whole jug. So let's go see if we can get this thing started and see how it goes. So we are inside. Push the clutch in. We just gotta wait for the thermostat to open to let the coolant through the engine, because right now it's blowing room temperature, which is cold at the moment. And good news about that, I went ahead and rechecked all the fuses again. I found one little fuse that was popped. I replaced it, and the whole radio system started working. Even though there's a little crease over here from the airbag on the corner, it's not really noticeable. I might leave it like that, I might replace it, because this unit is really expensive. So as of right now, I'm leaving it, and everything works. Speakers work, radio works, all the controls, also touch screen. So nothing is bad, so that's good. We're just gonna sit here and wait for to see if it's gonna start blowing hot air. Alright guys, good news. The air is now blowing hot, well, warmish. We just need to put the right amount of coolant in there. So this means the coolant is going through the engine and through the radiators. Let's go outside and see if there's any leaks, and we'll go from there. Looks all dry to me. No leaks. Everything seems to be working fine. Pretty good. So that's a thumbs up. I'm just gonna keep adding coolant till I get a good level over here. You can see there's some on the bottom already, but I'm just gonna keep adding till I get a good level, until I get a perfectly hot air going through the vents. So after letting the car run for a short period of time, coolant is good, level is good, looks like I got the right amount of coolant in there, heater works fine, AC works fine. Just took me about 10 minutes just playing around with the radiator support. The new radiator support fits perfectly in. Of course, I'm gonna have to do some welding from this side and also from the other side. We'll have to replace the top part of the intake, as it got a little bit damaged over here. I just did a temporary repair on it. That way it doesn't suck any extra air that it doesn't need. Everything now seems to be fine. Gonna put the tank back in, put the reinforcement back in, adjust everything, put the fenders, bolts back on, put the new hood on, headlights, bumper, and so on. So far so good. Everything is coming along pretty quickly. Really happy that the frame supports didn't actually got damaged, so everything is fitting perfectly. All the little rubber pieces for the radiator support that click in from the bottom onto this little two pieces work just fine. And my lights just went off for some reason. Alright guys, so radiator support is on. Of course I'm gonna still have to do the welding, but it does attaches to the fenders over here and also attaches from both sides under the radiator support, so it is in place and most likely that's how it's gonna stay. Did tighten everything up, all the plastics. Just right now put the hood on. All it is 2 screws from both sides, 2 bolts. That is done. Everything is lining up perfect. Gonna go ahead tidy up the fender liners, since it's easier to get to right now, all the little clips and plastics, and we'll go from there.